So it is officially Super Bowl Sunday, but even if you're not a football fan, this is one of the holidays, as far as in America anyways, as far as everyone getting together, having a good time, watching some ads. However, this year there won't be any crypto ads as far as during the game, no exchanges or anything have any spots, but I'll get to that in a second. However, there's some interesting NFTs that are surrounding the game, the league, and even Rihanna, who's doing the halftime show. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. So the first thing that I'm going to get to is NFL Rivals, which is a game NFT. And as you know, if you listen to the show, I'm not the biggest gamer. However, I'm going to leave the information for this as far as NFL Rivals, because this is a game that is a play-to-earn game that is associated with the NFT being a playable piece. And of course, these are football players, and you can play this great game. As far as the reviews that I'm getting from people, they say it is fun. I personally have not played it, but they are officially updating some of the players with Patrick Mahomes and, of course, Jalen Hurts, who are the two starting quarterbacks within the Super Bowl. So if you're interested in that, that is trending right now. I'm just going to sort of leave the link to that. I don't really have any personal feedback myself. However, the one thing that is blowing up that has been all over the news as far as the news feed on Twitter and everything right now is, of course, the Reddit avatars. And if you're not a Reddit user, you probably won't even care about this. However, as far as Reddit, it's just one of those social media platforms that either you love it or you hate it. If you use it, it's just a very cool thing, very niche down. However, they've been releasing their avatars as NFTs. They're calling them digital collectible avatars and what have you, but they're NFTs on Polygon. And for the Super Bowl, they released different ones. There's a Super Bowl one. There is one if you're a Chiefs fan, one if you're rooting for the Eagles, and then just a championship one with a trophy and a whole bunch of rings on it. However, the cool thing about this is not only are they free, but then they actually have the little parts that you can break apart. So let's say you already have your avatar that you've customized that you like. You know that you can change the headgear, the shirts, the shoes, and so forth. Well, let's just say you just want one element from this Super Bowl avatar. You just want the jersey, or maybe you just want the football helmet, or you want the shoes. Well, you can take that individual part and use that within your avatar. So I think that is pretty cool that they actually allow you to do that, break it apart and use it within the avatar that you're going to use for display. Because of course, these different ones that they're giving out for free, they all look exactly the same. However, whatever you use to customize your avatar already on your profile, you can just change out those different things. So these four are all the same. You still have the ability to customize it, and it is free to claim. Each account can get one of them. However, you can then turn around and you can sell this. This is what they're calling their digital vault system. Rather than using the seed phrase and all that, you use a password and everything. Of course, you can get the seed phrase for it, export it. You can sell it on the open market just like anything else. However, they make the onboarding process just very easy. And I think it's just a cool thing because they're building an ecosystem over there. Even that the token that they're using for the rewards for engagement on the platform is actually a cryptocurrency. They're not really dubbing it as such, but it is a Reddit currency that has off of platform utility. Therefore, by definition, it is a cryptocurrency. However, just as with these digital avatars and such, they're not stressing the whole fact that it is crypto, it is on the blockchain, and it is an NFT. The same thing they're doing with the token itself. But I just think that's just very cool. This is free, easy onboarding, and to this date, they have like 1.5 million of them already minted, and earlier this week, it peaked at 500,000 in one day, which is pretty impressive. Now, as far as like the resale value of these, what they're selling for on the open market, you can actually check OpenSea and you see Reddit's avatars and you can see the collection, all the different ones. But the Super Bowl ones, really, they're just selling for a couple cents. This is something, high supply. It is they're giving them out for free. Anyone that has a Reddit account can actually claim them. I will put the link up there, Reddit/avatar claim, so forth. Just look in the show notes. It is a long link, not something very short, but if you're wary of links, just Google Reddit Super Bowl Avatar Claim 2023 and just make sure it is the official reddit.com, and then you'll find the actual link for that. Or just go into the app, depending which one you have. If it's updated, it might be on the banner right on the top. But of course, if you've used Reddit, it's not always the easiest to find things because it is very niche. It's serving up the things that is most specific and pertinent to you that you're always engaging with, but that is how you're going to find it. So another thing, not directly associated with the NFL itself, but Rihanna actually had an NFT collection launch this week. Well, it's actually one of the producers that helped to make the track. Well, they released 300 different NFTs for her song, better have my money. There was 300 of those selling for $210 a piece. And the cool thing about this is the holders of it will get a percentage of the streaming royalties. So as this is going on Spotify and collecting up those revenues or royalties that would be going back to Rihanna and all the people that contributed to it, while this producer is giving up his share, and what's actually going to be given out to these 300 holders is 0.0033% of the streaming royalties. Now, that might not seem like anything, but I think it's just the novelty of it, just very cool, seeing where this could be going. And sure, with Rihanna and her millions and millions of streams, having a few cents or dollars here and there is pretty cool for the holders. I doubt they're going to get back their $210 from the royalties alone, but I think it's just a cool thing, especially if you are a fan of Rihanna. Actually, I used to be the biggest Rihanna fan back when she first came out. It was right after I finished high school, and she was just out of school. I think she was a teenager at the time, but anyways, so I always had that connection with her being an island girl, what have you, so I was rooted for Rihanna. And now that she has really blown up and taken over the world, really have been following pop music and what have you so much. However, if I was in my prime, this is definitely something that I would ran down there and got $210 to get a share of what Rihanna's music is. This producer is going to give up their royalties. So I thought that was just a pretty cool idea. However, not directly associated with the NFL and the Super Bowl, but because she's doing the halftime show, I'll throw this in there with my coverage of NFL related or Super Bowl related NFTs. But the main one that I wanted to get to, which I think is pretty cool, is the NFL All Days. Now, this is something that's very underrated. It's not really being spoken about. But if you're not familiar with the NFL All Days, it is the NFL equivalent of the Top Shots. The same team, Dapper Labs, is the one that put this out. Now, here's the reason why I think this is underrated and something that really has a lot of upside as far as collectibles. And I'm not speaking about trying to flip this, make a quick dollar or whatever. What I'm talking about is the actual engagement that the people that are going to come into this, and one of those things that's going to be mainstream to bring people into Web3, get them really excited. Although we always hear about NBA Top Shots, the NFL is king when it comes to sports. It is by far the most popular and profitable sports league in the entire world. A lot of people might think it is the English Premier League with Manchester United and all those big teams in there, but no. Even those do not compare to what they do with the NFL. They literally print money. Now, I'm not going to go into all the economics of it, but the reason why the NFL is the king of the sports world is, for one, they have a limited supply. They only play 17 regular season games, and for the most part, it is once a week that they're playing. So the fans are very committed. They only have to give up a certain percentage of their schedule, 3 hours a week. So a fan of a particular team can literally watch every single game. And because of this, there are a lot of eyes glued onto the TV, and they have the highest contracts as far as any sports league with the TV networks. And most people that have cable right now that actually have access to watching these games live, the only reason why they haven't canceled for all the streaming services is because of live sports. They want to watch the Olympics and NFL and NBA and NHL, and nothing draws people to their TV like the NFL. And giving you a comparison, of course, everyone speaks about NBA Top Shot and how revolutionary it was into tipping the scale and bringing in the masses into Web3. Yes, absolutely. I will not take anything away from it, but showing you the popularity of it. LeBron James just broke the NBA all-time scoring record, meaning that out of any player that has ever played in the NBA, he has scored more points. He has just passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Lakers as well, who was present for this record-breaking moment as well. However, only about 3 million people were watching this thing when it happened. Now, give you a comparison, a few days earlier, the NFL Pro Bowl, which is a complete joke. Anyone that likes football doesn't even watch the Pro Bowl. I watch NFL every single week, and I couldn't tell you the last time I watched the Pro Bowl. It was so unpopular with their fans, and the players didn't even want to play in it, that they actually changed the format. They changed it to a flag football game and a skills challenge. So diehard football people such as myself don't really even care about that, to see them play dodgeball and everything. Like, cool, that's like reality TV. But guess what? A lot of people, casual fans that aren't diehard football players such as myself, or many guys that are sitting before their TV every single week watching these games, guess what? They tuned in to watch their favorite quarterbacks and favorite running backs and wide receivers play dodgeball and all these skills competitions and flag football, and 6 million people watched that. So double the amount of people watched this goofy game than this history-making moment in the NBA. So that is just give you a comparison. If the NBA and the NFL go head-to-head, guess what? The NBA not only loses, but loses by such a wide margin that is absolutely embarrassing. The NFL dominates, so much so that the NBA will change their scheduling to not have to compete with them on the airways because they know that when people are watching the NFL, they don't care about the NBA. With that said, I think the fact that within the whole NFT community and everything, Top Shots has gotten all the attention and so forth, I think in the long run, there is so much more upside, so much more potential for these NFL all-day NFTs. Now, here's my reasoning too. All right. As someone who grew up in the Sports Center age, watching these highlights and what have you before YouTube just completely destroyed everything for them and Facebook, I used to always look forward to Sports Center top 10 plays of the day. Every single day, I used to watch that. When I was in college, even, that was in the peak of ESPN's powers. And I would literally come off the football field from practice. My roommate and I would have ESPN running 24/7, and we'd be able to catch all the highlights. But NBA highlights pretty much all look the same. You can only see but so many dunks before it looks like it's just repeating on replay. And so much so that I haven't even watched the NBA dunk competition in, I don't know, maybe even 20 years. I might have stopped watching that when I was in high school. I don't know. But they all start to look the same. I rather watch the highlights of Michael Jordan and those guys back in the day and Vince Carter and all that cool stuff than watch this active one now. And these guys are way more athletic, way more explosive. But guess what? The dunks all look the same to me now. So with that said, when it comes to NFL highlights, there's so many different things that can happen in the game. These amazing catches, these amazing jumps, tackles, throws, just absolutely crazy things. So many things go into a football play, so many elements, these over-the-head catches, like guys getting hit from mid-air. There's these moments that they could capture and make into these NFTs, I think are so much more unique and so much more impressive than what they could possibly do in an NBA game. Not to mention, during the regular season, NBA players do not even care about the game. They take off half the games, what have you. But these NFL games, every single game matters so much to these players that is absolutely crucial. They're trying their hardest. They're doing their best, both offense and defense. It doesn't matter if you're a winless team going against an undefeated team. Like, everyone on the field is putting in all that effort, and every single snap can result in one of these amazing highlights that lives on forever, and having it on the blockchain, having it be a collectible item, I think is a cool thing. So because of that, I think there is a lot of upside, a lot of growth for NFL all day. So looking forward to that, especially they're having this whole Super Bowl week push. And by the way, if you're not even someone who's in this ecosystem, whatever, that you can actually get a pack. It is $10, and then they give you a $10 credit as well. So then they have the opportunity to get rare ones and sell it on the open market, or just hold them, collect them, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. You might not be the biggest degen, but maybe you just like to collect sports cards like back in the day. Well, this is the new sports card, and I think this is a cool way to see it rather than just a static picture. Although those were cool, absolutely love those. These are actual video moments of some amazing highlights. So hopefully you found that kind of interesting. Love to know your thoughts on that, though. What do you think as far as NBA Top Shots and NFL All Day? Although all the conversations and even podcasts, titles, and you name it, YouTube videos seem to be focusing on NBA Top Shot, what are your thoughts on the NFL All Days? Do you think it has more upside? Love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to reach out to me at Tropic Vibes on Twitter. But as usual, I just want to thank you for taking time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, and until next time, later. The Nifty Business Show is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase. All right, I'm going to throw this in at the end because it's not directly NFT related, but as far as the Super Bowl, there won't be any of the exchanges running ads during the show. So they're calling it basically the Crypto Free Bowl as opposed to the Crypto Bowl. And it's kind of funny to say that the only company that was planning to run an ad was FTX, and the bankruptcy judge actually denied them the access of running that ad, because that's actually pretty funny to me, because here we have this company that has been shut down for all this craziness, and they were going to pay $7 million to run this ad for 30 seconds on the Super Bowl. Sure, all of those eyes would have been there, but you know what? Yeah, this decision was made from last year, but I just think it's absolutely funny that the bankruptcy judge had to shut that down.